Hey, how you doing? Well, I wanted to make a video just also sharing where I believe the Sinclair castle rests and still is now. That this area where they claim here, the Oak Island, the castle site, and the Gaspé River and all that as being where the castle, they say, once stood. Because of the clues and the history and like the records that the castle stood in the middle of the peninsula of Nova Scotia, New Scotland, whatever you want to call it. It stood in the middle, that two rivers from either side of the peninsula, and this castle was in the center. This area here is the center. Down here, where they say it is like the arse end. And so that had triggered me to then it was like just digging like an itch, and so I just stumbling across, just figured I would try to figure out where most obvious place would be for these Oak Islands, because there's two of them. These two rivers that travel to a central area where a castle could sit. And I found a site. I found two rivers that on either side of those rivers have First Nations that call themselves guardians in their language. And they fly the Templar flag as their nation flag. On their doorposts, long before Columbus and all the rest of them came over, these ones carved crosses in their doorways. And so this led me even further to search out. And this spring, this summer, I'm going to show a video of my first kind of capture and finding the area and show you it, and where I'm going this spring and this summer, Yahweh willing. You know, if Elon wants to, what was it? I made him a deal of 13 or 31 million. We'll call it 31 million. That's a good route. 31,500,000. And so you can have a percentage in sharing in my, Goonies adventure here. There's, in this castle is 13 million pounds of treasure. And for me to, like, there was all the silliness with the COVID and all that, but for me to try to explore that area, there's certain rules and certain things you have, jump through. So I tried, because I'm a prospector, and I tried to set a claim for the area. But somebody had already done this a long time ago. And a freaky looking claim, too. It actually looks like how the temple would look, the tabernacle, with a little claim inside. So that meant I couldn't go panning and doing certain things to look in certain areas. And I didn't have a drone for the lake and different things. So over time, I figured out a plan, and I got equipment, some gear, what I could, and I'm going to film out there. And there's little prophecies not tied to the Bible and all, but these other ones linked to when ones find this treasure, the supposed Grail, or these ones, that it allowed me to also kind of follow these intuition paths. And so I seen a satellite footage that was different from my last time there and times going around surveying, that an event happened near the area that coincides with what I picked up and read and just remembered. And so I'm going to search that area. And hey, who knows? Maybe it'll be a doorway in or something. Hey, that would be neat. Or even just find anything solid to then make sure, because there's Oak Islands at the mouth of each river, and the rivers flow up. They have the guardians, and from behind where the castle is, there's a high point that you can see either side of the peninsula, like of the area, Nova Scotia. And so strategically, being on the run from the Pope and them, and people pissed off that you took all this treasure, they could hide there. And if people sailed in one way or another, they could just easily take the rivers, get on the ships, maybe even come around and attack and sink those ships to, and say the sea monster sunk them. And so they have that advantage in this area, where the other Oak Island area, the gap between the river, the Gaspé River, and the castle site is like 31 miles, or is it 31 kilometers, 31 miles. And why would that be even a selling point of the Sinclair castle? And so it's just been itching away. But this spring, this summer, I'm going back to the site to do some real looking, and I believe I'm gonna find some interesting clues, because one, I'm taking drone to get an aerial shot. I believe they used wood and pitch from the Stellarton, also kind of Pictou landing, more Stellarton. There was fire pitch in this pitch where they could make preserved logs, because a lot of the areas where these mounds, you'll see it in the video coming up, that there's collapses happening, that the log shaped sinkholes, that's what I'm trying to say. And so you can, when I go back this spring, I'm going back before everything grows up. I'm bringing metal detector. I'm just going to go metal detecting, you know, just hiking, metal detecting, and exploring, and video, you know, videotape it. And if I come across anything interesting, I would love to get into the lake. But, you know, one thing at a time. So, I believe they made those logs for the to cover the site. So it'd be like a covering, and that way they took the dirt from the lake, piled it up, covered over the treasures in the castle, and then they booked out, headed out west, headed down, you know, south. They were staying with the natives, the First Nation tribes all over North America, because the prophet that went around had already spread the gospel. So they were welcomed and hidden among, and so eventually they just blended back and they disappeared, while the treasure was left, you know, protected on either side of the rivers by guardians. Because in history, those First Nation ones, those guardians, if you were not Scottish like Henry and them, they would kill you. And this is what protected some of the nasty Scots, because they, no, we're Scot. And so eventually the natives got put into their, like the First Nation, put into their little segregation. But Henry Sinclair, I believe, is Glooscap. It's like they use the name Glooscap instead of Henry Sinclair. They paint him as a god because he probably walked in a lot of the anointing of Jehovah, if he was leading and carrying the treasures of Israel also. So let's start here.
Okay, this is the Salmon Riverside Reservation. That's Glooscap there. It's a statue. I mean, it's not very clear. It's overcast here today. That, I think, is a statue of Henry Sinclair too. But I found it interesting just down here that they put a pyramid at the top of the cap. But down there is the river, and it runs, and that's the way towards Gully Lake that way, and Bay of Fundy way. Salmon River, it's further down, I'll show you, but runs down that way and then towards that way. Alright. The trees here are kinda, this is, I'm following the Salmon River way to the, I guess it's the lens. It's a spot. Anyway, these trees are all like these trees here, they should be bigger, but I don't know, the soil or something in this area has kept them down. So I guess they say that's a thing about the ley lines. I don't know. I'm not really knowledgeable on ley lines, but I know this area. And so this is Stevens Cross. Okay, Salmon River, that's towards the Troy, runs in this valley here. It's down, we're kind of running along with my finger there, goes behind here, runs down, and in that area there is the Gully Lake. But I noticed all the trees around here are kind of stunned. But that place up there, on top of there, nobody's up on there. The only way you could, there might be roads to get up, but you could go up the power line. I'm gonna go down that way, but there, right there is Mount Tom, right there, and that's heading, and the West River one is on the other side. Salmon River heads through to that way. Okay, I'm pointing back towards Trora. That was the hill over there with the power line. This is Salmon River. So this would be part of the river that flows up the gully, and it runs out to the Bay Fundy. This one runs up and it goes up to the lake. It's kind of a miserable day. We had fresh snow to be walking around, but it goes up. This area is like, the trees are all kind of stunted. Like, you know, like little people trees, or the ley line, and that way, right towards Pictou Harbor that way. So in there, on that hill up there, in there is Gully Lake. There. So I'm gonna go up here. There's a little turn off heading up towards Mount Tom. We had a snowstorm and all that, so I'm not gonna roam around too much in the woods when your car is like low profile. All right. See, there's an example of the trees. Like, they're not growing normal. That's what I'm trying to say. So, I want to talk to one of the neighbors here at this Pratt Lake. He said something interesting about the lake. There's two deep spots, like round holes, not continuous, but two deep areas, two circled, really deep for a lake, right there. But he said, going up here, this is like a high point that you can see all areas. Dalhousie has a cabin up there. And Buddy gave me this Skidoo trail. These are Skidoo and ATV trails going up. Yeah. Let's go. See how the trees kinda. And Buddy, I asked him about any unusual things or whatever, and he's a cabinet maker. And he mentioned about the tree that in his backyard, and it was twisted like a corkscrew. And so he, like inside, it was growing just twisted and twisted. So, and in his backyard is the lake, the Pratt Lake. And he also noticed in the woods logs that were like trees that seemed to be set in places, but there was no logging going on. Like the trees weren't all down, but these logs, he said, were all stacked unnaturally by around that lake. So yeah, I gave him my number, and if he remembers anything else about rocks and different things. But as you can see how these trees don't grow high. They're just, and this is the ley line. This is the line that runs and connects onto. And then as we move further and further away from this area, the trees, you notice, are starting to get bigger. Taller, I mean, they're so. Why do you slow down? But yeah, see, these trees are all immature in this area. But he said the ones they got were twisted and stuff. See, the trees are getting quite different than those ones back there. So there's where I want to be, over there. So there's a beaver dam right there. It looks like I can make a cross. Get myself a walking stick next to the beavers. Last time I went way up and crossed on the other side. Right there. Get across here. I'm getting near where the area is. See that tree? There's the lake. Mound is over there, I think. I'm gonna be. This is just ungated shit. Just checking under some of the trees. Rock. Still heading over there. There's another one of those trees that look like they've been cut off. There's the power line. So this mound here, it dips in here with water from that side, and it goes up. So this is where I think, where they buried it. See the lake's right there. One thing I noticed about this area here, they got a, kind of starts over there, almost like a rock barrier, so nothing slides into the lake, like if you just leave it. How they do like coastlines and different things. That's my theory. Could be just a bunch of pile of rocks, but it's just, there was nothing over there, it was just fine, and then it started. And it's all up through there until you come to that edge right there. This. Oh, this type of cement, type of rocks here. This is a big boulder, this one. Right here is where I think the castle's, the Ark of the Covenant. I know it's more of a educated guess, since I have no hard evidence saying otherwise. Right up on top. And there's two deep chambers down in the lake. And the people have reported that the lake is just kind of dust and then a bunch of flat stones on the bottom of the lake. So they could have taken material, moved it, and covered this area here. That's a theory of mine. along the edge there is where all the big stones and boulders. So that would keep any erosion from this hill kind of moving down. The power lines are right there. Further up, there's a round lake up there. This one's kind of shaped like a mouth, and that one up there like an eye, and then power lines between. If you're looking at a map, it goes down over here. Another like creek water kind of runs down into the lake. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but everywhere there's like mounds. Nothing is smooth here. There's no, it's like little mounds of dirt. It's hard to tell because of all the leaves and color taking the depth away. Lumpy everywhere. And then we have that stream that runs down into the lake there. I'm gonna cook up some rice. Get some water here. That stream runs over there. I think this other mound is part with it. But, yeah, it kind of goes on a corner there, a sharp edge. I think. See, it goes on a sharp edge. Straight along. And there's a deep chamber over there. One right there. That's the other mount. Head that way. So you got this line here, it goes straight down. You can see it goes down to the lake. But you have this line going along the edge, out, right out to that straight edge on the lake, and then goes that way. I think there's two parts, and that creek runs through the middle of it, I believe. I don't know. But I think this is connected, but this one is also covered with just these maple. Some of the maple is pretty weird looking. Especially over there on the other hill area. And the power lines are just still behind there. It's more of that kind of clay cement type stone there. But if you look at it, they look like, you can't really see it there, but you can see it here because there's no leaves. But all over the place there's like these hills, like dirt, little mountains. And there's a ridge. See, that goes down to the swamp, and then the water then flows, and it's that creek but you can see it here. I'm on a mountain. Like, and there's a little, like they just dump dirt and go. So it's not flat. Usually when I walk through the woods, it's not as bumpy as this. But then it goes down, it runs into those tree grove over there, softwood. And then just go straight down. See how you can see some of there, the bump, another bump, another one. Nothing's kind of flat laid out. Remember, a glacier was supposed to have went across this all and smoothed it. This looks like, if you ever see road work along the highway where they had to go and dump dirt and stockpiles and different things that have been there for years, and you got little, trees that age or whatever growing, but there's nothing here. So, and the ridge runs this way. This is a theory of mine, so I know people aren't gonna believe me unless I'm holding solid evidence. But this area fulfills where the clues of the Oak Islands and the cross. So it comes to this point, comes over there. And so, and then goes straight down. And you get your other side over there. So, but all the clues about the castle called the Cross point to this area. I know everybody thinks of the Oak Island on TV, the money pit. But if you actually look at the clues and look at a map and look at everything, that island that they call the Oak Island on TV is not the Oak Islands of Henry Sinclair. So, glad for Gore-Tex. See, and this would have been a little up higher. See how it fell down. And weather and years. I mean, this is supposed to be 100 years before Columbus, so you're dealing with a lot of factors over the years. That cement stone again. There could be quite a bit of it. much of anything else. And then you got this swampy area. What are these weird trees? They all like coming up and it's like a marsh, wet area, and then the two sections. There's freshwater mussels in here. So, but there's, see that little point right here with my finger? Yeah, it's dirty. That's the straight edge that runs along in the front. It runs and then another area, but that's the hill there. There's a loon up there. Right there. Yeah. You want a beaver den or something. That's where I crossed right there. I'd see this. That's what Buddy was saying. Mostly flat rocks. I don't know if you can see that. With just a dust. There's no like topsoil. There's no. It's just runs all along like that. And that chamber is right here. The other one's up there. But it goes really deep, deeper than any inland lake that isn't connected like to the ocean or harbor or anything. Because this is basically, you got a little stream exiting, a little stream up there coming in, and this thing goes down, like really deep. The scuba diver shared that. He never went in it. Looks like something's coming towards me. But, oh, I don't. Well, that probably scared the fish away if there is any. But, you see, no grass or nothing, just kind of a dust on the rocks there. Those flat rocks. Yeah, the log is twisted. Yeah, Buddy said that the trees are like that. Yeah, they get kind of, they spin in on the inside. You can see a good example here of this one. See how everything's kind of spinning. Down older. That's wrong. So right over there is where I was. That section there. So right now, I'm just it's getting chilly. Just doing up some rice. I'm gonna make a coffee. So the water here has topsoil, grass, over. in that section. There's
Well, I'm going back this year with the drone, with also um, filters, so I can go along the edge of the lake, because I believe I just want to get a view of the any, you know, those chambers would be nice. Being able to get down into the deepness of that lake would be really cool. But with the drone, I'll get up above also where the the marsh area, I think, is an important area to look. And also going with the metal detector over those mounds, and where those the rock wall there that I pointed out, it steps up and then there's another rock wall. It's like a step and then it goes up. But at least now I also have a 4-wheel drive, not a not that car anymore, but I have a 4-wheel drive that I can actually drive up and park where those power lines are and just walk, you know, a short trip, basically downhill into down and up some into the area. So that saves me a lot of time, and that way I can carry my gear. I'll have a gimbal, couple videos, cameras like the old one that I had there, but also I got this gimbal thing for a phone. So when I'm walking, I'm not shaking the camera everywhere like I was. So this is this summer's project. So thanks for watching. I hope to get out, and I hope to find, the doorway into the castle. That would be cool. But that's where I think it is. There's another site further down I want to check out, and also I'd like to take the West River, do with the camera and the drone and show the rivers coming together at the site, and where Henry Sinclair and 13 million pounds of treasure. Plus, also, there would be like just an immense amount of First Nations artwork and treasure also in the castle that was given as gifts during that time. So I think, yeah, it would be quite a haul. A treasure, unlike any. So I just followed the clues, and that's where it brought me. People want to think I'm silly. They want to think the Ark of the Covenant's like hiding in Ethiopia or whatever. Fine. They hid the thing from the Pope because, the vile ones, they would just use it for vile things. And so it just needed a rest, be hidden away until the time of the end. So, hey, why not? The Hobbit found the ring. Now he needs to take it to Mordor. Or whatever. Is it Mordor? I don't know. But anyway, thanks for watching, and more videos of that journey coming soon. So Cheers. And I hope all are having a happy Easter holiday and also the Passover, you know, a time of remembrance of the Messiah, Yeshua, Jesus. So he's the key. Without him, the broad road. So take it easy. Love Batman.
Keep right on to I-84 East.